Hey folks, today we're going to try and use the dbt Cloud API to update some environments for us. So you can see here I have a production environment, the branch is dev. We're going to try and update that to be a different branch, and we're going to run a job and see what happens. I have yet another kind of deployment environment here. This is not staging yet, I call it, but we're going to try and use the API as well to update it so that it says staging right here. So first things first, let's go and see the job that ran here. Let's run the job here and let's see the branch that gets checked out in our production environment. So we can see here the checked out branch is dev because obviously the custom branch here is dev. If we go and use the API to retrieve the environment, you can see I'm retrieving environment 289725, which is right here. If I go and retrieve it, it tells me the custom branch is dev. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use some of the information that I get from the retrieval of the environment. I'm going to use the update endpoint. So update endpoint is described here. So these are all the parameters that we want. So I'm going to go into update. I'm going to put in the same environment, and then in the payload, this is how it looks like, account ID and so on. I'm also assigning the same credential ID. So this is something that you get when you retrieve. You can see it right here, credential ID 361934, 361934 as the credential ID. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to convert this custom branch from dev. I'm going to ask it to run on another branch, perhaps something random. Let me check my repo first just to be sure what branches are available before I switch to it. So I have a branch called main2. So let's do that. I'm going to change this to main-2. So I'm going to send the post request to the update environment endpoint. Well, it's basically the same environment endpoint, except we are doing posts. And then you can see here, it has changed to custom branch main2. And if we do a quick refresh, we see that this has changed to main2 as expected. And then if we run our job now, hopefully, there you go. So this is main2. And then we will double check to see that our job runs successfully without kind of any connection issues or anything like that. And then it ran successfully. So we can go back and forth. We can change this back to perhaps dev or whatever we want to. And then now this is dev. And then if we obviously can see that this is dev now. So run again. And then down here it should say dev, which it does. And then we can wait to see what that does. And then it built successfully. So we have used the dbt Cloud API to update the environment programmatically from dev to main2 back to dev, and everything runs as expected. Now we're going to try and do something else. I have this other environment which is not yet set to staging, so we're going to try and do that with the API. So same thing. I'm going to try and retrieve the environment first. Now the environment ID has changed, so I'm going to retrieve this one. I can see a couple of different things. For example, dbt version is versionless. So let's copy credential ID, go over here. Yeah, let's change environment ID. And let's do that here as well. Account ID is same, project ID is the same. Credential ID is 39857. Different. Then the name of this is not staging yet, so I'm going to update the name. And the version, if we saw from the retrieval, is versionless. So I'm going to use the same one because I don't want to change that. And then the type is deployment, custom branch. Let's set it. Let's not set this because there is no custom branch configuration here. If we look at the retrieval, custom branch false. So I'm going to just leave this alone. Support false, which I think is required by the API. So I'm just going to leave that the same. And then deployment type, change from production to staging. And let's see how we go. Okay, so I'm going to update this other environment, which is 38193. 38193. So I'm going to update this from not having the staging flag to having the staging flag, and then also changing this name to staging. And then that's done. If we do a refresh, we see our environment has been renamed. It is now staging with the green flag, and then we can come in here and run our job just to double check that things are working fine. Phone successfully, doing a build. And then that's done. So today we learned how to update our environment's custom branch, as well as turn on the staging flag if you want to for environments using the dbt Cloud Environments API. Thank you.